Hey guys, hey, hi. I'm just gonna squeeze in here. Hi. So it's been a while.
It's been 84 years.
About 6 months have passed since my last video. I've been slacking. I mean, there really isn't another way to say it. I've been slacking. Life has been living me. A lot has happened. I moved across the country. I took a little sabbatical and I'm back, I think. So when I was thinking about like, okay, what's my first video back gonna be about? I thought about all of the comments and questions underneath my GinaCurl videos. And I thought it might be a little bit fun to address some of those questions and comments. And I'm even gonna address those like snarky little comments with the word sis at the end that is meant to erase the snarkiness of the comment before it. I'm gonna address all of them. And I think it's gonna be fun, and I think it's gonna be a little bit chaotic, and I think you're gonna like it, so stay tuned. So these questions are going to be in no particular order. I am just going to be going through them randomly because the internet has no rhyme or reason, so why should I? And so it begins. Here's a comment that I actually think is really important. So, quote, "My point is, both then and with this GinaCurl, is chemical manipulation of your natural curl pattern. It's the acceptable curl. It's your hair and you do you." Thank you. You do you, but in my opinion, it's just more of the same junk being pushed for type 4 hair, just rebranded and repackaged for 2021. So the thing is, I'm actually not mad at this comment, like at all. I see where this person is coming from 100%. And honestly, Amanda on another day might have 100% agreed with this comment. So I completely agree that curly hair, more loose textured curls is seen as more desirable in Black females, and that's relating back to centuries of colonialism and oppression and white beauty standards being thrust upon the rest of the world. There's so much truth in that. At the same time, despite the negative history, despite the terrible oppressive history that has created the beauty standards of today, none of us can really escape them. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people, including myself, try to lose weight because society tells us that skinnier bodies are more beautiful. A lot of us wear makeup because society tells us that women who wear makeup are more feminine and more beautiful. Yes, we should question where those standards come from, but the unfortunate reality is that we're still susceptible to those standards. I don't claim to be immune from beauty standards, like at all. I wear certain clothes because larger society has told me that these types of clothes are beautiful. Like, I don't think anybody's exempt from them. I know that's an unsatisfying answer. That's just where I've gotten to in my personal journey. I think at some point in my life, I will increasingly try to reject those beauty ideals, but this is kind of where I am right now. So really, like, I hear you. I hear you. I really do. I really do. All right, next question. So this is where it starts. So in this video, you are gonna hear the words jheri curl, wave nouveau, leisure curl, 80s, 90s, a ton. Your hair looks amazing. Thank you. That's so sweet. Some people on the internet are actually nice. Just a few questions. How often do you need to repeat this? Every 5 to 6 months. You can make it shorter depending on like your preferences. I personally started doing every 5 months because I like really hate having 2 different textures on my head, so I do it as quickly as possible. What is the difference between this and a curly perm? We'll get into that. Is this something that can be done with dyed hair? And thank you for taking us along on your amazing journey. Okay, so is it something that can be done with dyed hair? The answer to that is I really don't know. Like, you're gonna have to ask Gina about that. I don't wanna give you the wrong answer and have you come back with a shiny head.
You can see the moonlight bouncing off her head.
Like all in flames in my comment section. So I don't know. I have seen people who have lighter colored hair in the salon that didn't look completely like congenital, like they weren't born with that color hair in there. I do think that certain tweaks have to be made in order to do a GinaCurl on dyed hair. So I think the answer is yes, but I'm not gonna give you 100% like, you know, go for it type of response. What is the difference between this and a curly perm? So this is this is where we need to get into it. So this is like the main comment that I kept seeing over and over and over again. So, Jheri curl, wave nouveau, leisure curl, GinaCurl. What is the difference? They all end in curl. A lot of people have been saying in the comments like this is just a Jheri curl. I'll read another one for you. Let me see if I can find it. All I have to say, it ain't nothing but a Jheri curl. I wore it in the late 80s into the 90s. I had almost every Jheri curl product there was. So what's the difference between this and a Jheri curl other than the extortion price? So, okay, there's a technical answer and there's a practical answer, and I'll start with the practical answer. Like, this is a Jheri curl. And for me, my hair doesn't look like that. Praise God for his goodness, because the curls of a GinaCurl look a lot more natural and drier than this. So there's that. Aside from the fact that these things are both not straight, I really struggle to see much of a commonality in the end product of a Jheri curl and a GinaCurl. But in terms of like the technical answer, I have seen multiple videos saying that they're the exact same thing. I have seen videos explaining the difference between them, and here is what I have ultimately come up with. This is my understanding of things. The chemicals are very similar. They both change the structure of the hair, and then you restructure the hair into a curl. And the way that's done is different between the Jheri curl and the GinaCurl. So with the Jheri curl, you use one chemical to straighten, and then you use another chemical to reconfigure the hair into a curl pattern. The way Gina has explained it is that yes, you use that chemical to straighten the hair, but then you use heat to reform that hair into the curly pattern. Both of the processes at the end use a neutralizer, so that's equivalent. So really, the GinaCurl has one less chemical in the process than a Jheri curl or a wave nouveau or whatever it might be. That's my understanding. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I have learned from watching a ton of videos on the subject. The second thing that I've seen in both videos and have noticed myself is that the GinaCurl is extremely customizable. When I did my first retouch with the GinaCurl, I went in, they sat me down, and they're like, what's up? Like, what were the last 6 months like? What did you like? What didn't you like? What went well? What didn't go well? And I'd said something to the effect of like, you know what, the hair near my roots really like straightened out over time, and I really didn't like that look. I had like straight hair up here and then curls down bottom. Some of that had to do with what I was, how I was styling, but some of that didn't. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna fix that. And they literally had 2 different strengths of the chemical that they use to fix that problem in my hair. So they're like, okay, we're gonna use like the ultra strength near the roots, and down bottom we're gonna use the regular strength, something to that effect. But they really customized that retouch to give me the results that I wanted. And they do the same thing if you have different like textures of hair, or part of your hair has been processed before. They really customize things, and they take a lot of time and effort to do so. But again, they have like different strength chemicals. So that is not your routine, like run-of-the-mill Jheri curl wave nouveau. It is really a different level of customizability. Can your hair be straightened? The answer to that question is yes and no. Your hair can be straightened using methods that do not involve direct heat applied to the hair. You cannot put direct heat on the GinaCurl. You cannot flat iron it. You cannot blow dry it unless you're using a diffuser, but you cannot straighten it with heat. Now, I have seen some very creative ways of straightening the GinaCurl without using heat that are usually time consuming and really don't straighten it all that much, but if you want to, But if you plan on having curls again in the future and you've gotten a GinaCurl, then no, you should not put heat on it. Now, if you want straight hair and you've gotten the GinaCurl, one thing that you can do, which I think is actually pretty cool, is do the straight variation. So Gina basically has two variations of the GinaCurl. There's the curly one, and then there's the straight variation that uses the same chemicals, but leaves you with straight hair at the end. And the cool thing about that is that you can actually go back and forth between straight and curly as much as you want, as long as you don't apply direct heat to your hair ever. So you can get straight hair and go back to the GinaCurl, which I think is really cool, and I may one day try it. Can you do a twist out? If you wanted with this process. Yes, you can. I love all these segues to previous videos. Yes, you can do a twist out and it actually comes out really nicely. It's softer, so it's not as hardy and like durable as a twist out when you're 100% natural, but it looks really nice. So check out this video. Thank you for giving the best explanation about the GinaCurl product. I am not sure if someone has already asked already. When you went back for the touch-up, do they put the curl product on the whole strand or just the new growth? So great question. It's just the new growth. So a lot of people get confused because when they see my hair in the videos, they notice that it's all covered in white cream. But if you look closely, you can see there's a line of demarcation between the two creams. One cream near the root is that chemical that's processing your new growth. The rest of the hair is covered in a different cream, which is a cream protector to protect your old processed hair from that chemical that's on the roots. So basically your hair is gonna be all covered in cream, but only the root is covered in chemical. Hi love, has your hair been healthy since? So for the most part, yes. Like that is also another huge relief for me because I know with some of the other curly products, curly perms, wave nouveaux, people were losing their hair. Their hair was just falling off, like falling off was their hair's 9 to 5. Like that was the way that their hair could earn money and feed their family and like keep their livelihoods. That's what the hairs had their degree on, was just falling off. I have not seen that with the GinaCurl. There was a period of 2 to 3 months that I've talked about in previous videos where I did have some breakage, but I think it turned out to be a product that I was using, which I also talk about in the videos, which I will link above. But honestly, even when it was breaking, it was a ton less breakage than what I had with my natural hair, and like it really wasn't that much breakage, period. So my hair is doing fine now. My hair is growing, it's retaining length. It's been pretty darn wonderful. Just to show you guys, so give you guys a full update, this is how long my hair is now. I'll show you from the side and then from the back. I am retaining length. Aside from like easier maintenance, shorter wash days, just freedom, aside from that, the length retention has been the best part about having a GinaCurl. I am seeing my hair grow before my eyes and not in protective styles. Just for that reason alone, I probably would have gotten a GinaCurl. Okay, so next one. Aw man, why do I keep seeing women do this GinaCurl thing? It can't be good for your hair, right? I do it because I like it. And as for good, no, I'm assuming it's not good for your hair. Like, I don't think any chemical is good for your hair, but my hair is thriving more than it did before, so in that way, I guess it's okay for my hair. So here's some love and light that this person's sharing. Love watching your videos. I was very excited to watch this one today because I was at Hair Talent yesterday getting my straight variation. My hair looks and feels fabulous. Gina, her daughter, and her staff are amazingly wonderful with talent and personality. Your hair looks fantastic. Thank you for sharing your journey. So thank you for leaving positive posts, guys. I love like the encouragement and just light. Like if you haven't noticed, like I try to stay positive. Like I try to show people love. Like I just, you know, even when people are coming at my neck, like I try to respond kindly. So this is really encouraging. Thank you so much. And 100% agree. I think that the level of service that you get at Hair Talent is amazing. I think the staff, Gina and her daughter and everybody there is really kind. You have to constantly be like, oh no, I'm okay, I don't want water. Oh no, I'm okay, I'm not hungry. Like, oh no, I'm okay, like I don't need a pillow. Like they're constantly trying to make you comfortable. Like that is so nice. Like it's so cool. And again, like the level of attention to detail, unparalleled. I forgot to mention this to you guys. So I'm really tender-headed.
Y'all, I'm tender-headed. I'm just gonna be real with you. I am super tender-headed.
I do not get crazy with this because your girl is tender-headed.
So in addition to my usual pre-med of ibuprofen, I will be blow drying my hair because there's not gonna be a single knot in there for them to snag.
I don't know if I mentioned that to you. With no exaggeration whatsoever, my experience at Hair Talent, every single time I've been there, which I think is now 4 times, I have never been in any physical pain. And this is coming from somebody who's literally cried real tears in the chair of a hairstylist. And I think a lot of it is because when they book you, like you're gonna be there for the next 8 hours. They give themselves ample time to give you a service without having to rush through it. So you never feel like I'm being like moved in and out. Like you never feel like you're being rushed. And so they're not like trying to speed through your hair. They're really taking their time. If you're tender-headed, this is your spot. Okay, so I'm gonna start trying to move faster because I'm really like lagging here, oh my gosh. Please let me know the average cost of the initial GinaCurl and the retouch. I know cost varies, but I would like an idea so I'll know what monies I need to save, please. Reasonable question. So I paid $8.50 for my first GinaCurl, and at that time my hair was, I called it nipple length, like a little bit like maybe longer than bra strap length. The reason that my hair is now just getting back to bra strap length is that it got cut a lot when I got my first GinaCurl because my hair was not healthy, and now it's growing back and the ends are healthy. But so my hair was about bra strap length. It cost me $8.50 the first one, and then the price goes up from there. When you get your retouches, it's gonna go up. So the initial GinaCurl, the minimum is $5.50, and I know that sounds like a lot of money, but the minimum is $5.50. Even if your hair is like like really short, it's still gonna cost you $5.50. So keep that in mind. It is an investment. And you still use the same hair products as before, or do you have to switch over to the products they sell? No, you can use normal hair products. You can use the products that you were using before, with one exception. You really have to be careful about protein. So you have to read the ingredients list. If the product that you used before the GinaCurl contains too much protein for the GinaCurl, you cannot use it. But if you're using a low protein product before, fine, continue to use that with the GinaCurl and you should be all good. So what Gina explained to me early on when I was first kind of putting my foot into the GinaCurl pool was that if a product has protein in the first half of the ingredient list, then it's too much protein. If it's in the second half of the ingredient list, then you should be okay. So if you don't know, like when you read an ingredient list, whether it's food or whether it's a hair product, the ingredients that come first, there's a lot of those ingredients in the product, and the ingredients that come last, there's a little bit. So if you have a product that starts with water as the first ingredient, that means that product is mostly water. Lavender is at the end. That product has a tiny bit of lavender. I don't know why you paid all that money for that tiny little bit of lavender. So you really just have to see where proteins fall in that ingredient list and just be careful that you're really not using too much protein. I alternate between using the shampoos and conditioners that I get at Hair's Talent, and when I run out of those, I'll just get something from the pharmacy or from, Target and let it rock. Dear, did you have to keep, that's so sweet, dear, did you keep your hair in one style for 6 months to keep the curls in? Could you share your wash days, please? Okay, awesome. I have shared the wash days. I'll link that video above. And did I keep my hair in one style for 6 months? Honestly, I probably would say I keep my hair in about 3 styles. I do outs, I do like a high ponytail, and then a high bun. I've been trying to like really avoid styles, even my high ponytail and high bun. I've been trying to avoid that recently because I do notice that my hair stretches out quicker when I pull my hair back a lot. So I've been trying to actually just mostly wear my hair out these days so that I can keep my curls intact. Are you able to do sleek buns and ponytails? Use gel on it. If so, are there specific gels you should use? So yes, you're able to do sleek buns and ponytails and use gel to do those sleek buns and ponytails. I used to do that a lot, but again, it will stretch your curls a little bit faster. Not immediately, but over time. And are there specific gels that you should use? So the main thing with gel and the GinaCurl is when you're using gels, you should really try to wash the gel out of your hair before you go to sleep at night. Because if you think about it, when you put gels in your hair, even your natural hair, it makes it very brittle. Like your hair is stiff and easy to break. So if you go to bed with that, you're rubbing all night, you're tossing and turning, and you're gonna break your hair off. So you can use gels without protein, but wash it out before you go to bed is the recommendation. Do I always do that? Have you had any issue with your hair thinning or appearing thinner at all? It would be good to keep this updated as it's something that is mentioned a lot but remains clear from other GinaCurl clients. No, I haven't. My hair has always been thin, to be honest. Thinner, I would say, but no, I don't think my hair has been thin. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't think it looks thin to me. I don't know if you're talking about like roots, like is there loss at the roots? No, I mean it's just as dense as it has always been. So no thinning, I don't think. No thinning. I like this question. When you go in for your touch-up, can you choose another size rod than the previous? Yes. That's the really cool thing. When you go in for your touch-up, you can change your curl pattern. If you want to get loose, big curls that are more like waves, you can. If you want to get like the tiniest rods so that your hair is more of like kind of afro and voluminous, you definitely can do that too. So it's really cool. You can basically change up your look each time you go. When I first started, I had pink rods. The second time I did my retouch, I did pink rods again, I believe. And then I started doing, as my hair was growing, they recommended pink with some blue at the top. So now I do a mixture of pink and blue, and I really like it. So we got 3 crying laughing emojis, so you know it's a millennial. Yo, they got you for 800 plus. That's a jheri curl, sis. 85 bucks at the most. I swear we as a people stay sponsoring the lives of others for generations. So I paid what I paid. I'm okay with the price, but I hear you. Like if you know, are used to a service that is like $85 and then I'm paying literally 10 times that amount for something similar but not identical, then I understand why you feel like they got me for 800 plus. But for me, the results are so different, and it's an 8-hour service. Like, to pay 85 bucks for that would be absurd. It would make me question a lot of things, including my life. There are some judgmental comments in here. I am natural and struggle with my hair. I've tried so many hairstylists and they jack it up. I start over and still struggle. I've tried so many products, watched so many videos, and no success. So it's just weird to judge somebody's decisions when you don't know the lengths they've gone through to rock their natural. I could not agree more with this comment. Like my very first video, I talked about my natural hair journey, and I was natural for 18 years, and I honestly started being natural before like people kind of jumped on the bandwagon in the last, you know, few years, and I struggled with it. Like, it was painful for me, like, to actually physically take care of my hair. I was spending hours on maintenance. I wasn't happy with the health of my hair and the length retention. I was at the same length for those 18 years. No, I mean, obviously it was short. And then I got to the same length, and then I plateaued for years, probably for about 10 years. My hair was the same, like, bra strap length. So it was not retaining length. I was frustrated. I was ready to throw in the towel. I don't want to make it sound like, you know, getting a GinaCurl is giving up, but I was kind of over it. And maybe one day I'll go back, but honestly, it just wasn't working for me. And maybe I wasn't doing everything perfectly, but then again, maybe that says that it didn't fit in with my lifestyle. I don't know, but I hear you. Like, I completely agree with this. Very nice. And for the folks complaining about the price, the young lady said it took 8 hours. On which planet do you think you can take up to 8 hours of a stylist's time, expertise, and products and pay $100? Which planet is that? Try paying an auto mechanic $50 when it takes him 4 hours to diagnose, take apart, and fix your car. Call a plumber. He won't even show up on your doorstep to diagnose the problem for less than $100. Yet y'all expect the GinaCurl to cost $100 for 8 hours of service? Yes, I completely agree. There's no way that somebody is going to give you 8 hours of their time and have you pay $85, including with your hair sucking up their products and you breathe in their oxygen. You want to pay $10 an hour? That's not gonna work. Okay. This is the second video I've watched for GinaCurl, and I didn't know she was in Connecticut. That makes me sad, LOL. LA is far, but this is something I want for this year. Your hair looks great, thank you. Yes, so Gina is in Connecticut. She's in East Haven, Connecticut, which is very close to New Haven, Connecticut, which is where Yale is. That's kind of like what that town is known for. Don't come at me, people from New Haven, like, oh, we're known for a lot more than that. You're known for Yale. But the great thing is that since this comment has been written, actually, she's been training other stylists to do the GinaCurl. And now there are stylists, not a ton, but there's stylists around the country, and I'm pretty sure I saw some in California, who are certified to do the GinaCurl. Don't just go to anybody who says, I'm doing the GinaCurl. Like, make sure that they're certified. Check the Hair Talent website, because you do not want imitation of this. So the next one is related to the jheri curl thing, but a little bit different, and I actually did want to talk about that. So ain't nothing but an overpriced dry jheri curl with the same amount of maintenance as a relaxer / jheri curl, if not more. So the reason I picked this one, the reason I wanted to address this one is the idea of the amount of maintenance. And I was like thinking, I was like, is it the same amount of maintenance as a relaxer? I don't think it is. Well, Maybe. Because a relaxer you get once every like, what, 6 weeks. And then in between, a relaxer is pretty easy to maintain. Like you're not doing a whole ton with it. Whereas I do think the GinaCurl, there is more maintenance. Like the GinaCurl, you have to wash twice a week, or that's what's recommended. You kind of do, I feel like you do have to style it a lot. Like I used to be able to get away with kind of just like wetting it quickly in the morning, but now that I don't sleep with my scrunch it, which was like that special sleep hat I talked about in this video, now I sleep with it in kind of just like a sleep bonnet. It's pretty flat in the morning, and I just spraying it doesn't kind of fully bring it back to life. So I do get sometimes, like, this is the other gripe I had about the GinaCurl, is that like sometimes it is annoying to have to style your hair every single day, but I feel like I got used to not having to do that with natural hair, because I could just like, you know, unwrap my hair and it looked exactly the same as it did the night before. Like if I would wear like a high bun or a high puff, like I could just like wrap it up and then unwrap it in the morning and go. Whereas here, you really do have to like style your hair. And I think that's probably what a lot of the world experiences, having to style their hair in the morning, but I'm not used to it. So I do think that there's a little bit more maintenance involved. So yeah. And the last question, I often wonder, what next will they use to get our hard-earned money? I don't know, who knows? I guess we'll find out. Whew, so my knees hurt because I'm 33 and my joints. So that was a lot of questions about the GinaCurl, a lot of comments addressed about the GinaCurl. So I really appreciate, like, even the ones that are like disagreeing, I appreciate you guys leaving comments on the videos. I appreciate you engaging with the topic. Even when we don't agree, I do think it's important to have dialogue, so thank you for engaging, guys. If you have any more questions about the GinaCurl, which I would find surprising because I feel like I've answered like every possible question about them. But if you do have any more questions about the GinaCurl, please post them below and I will do my best to answer them for you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me, for engaging, for uplifting, encouraging me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for bearing with me through my YouTube sabbatical. I will do my best to start posting more consistently. As always, please like this video. Please like this video. I put a lot of work into it. Please comment down below this video and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.